Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living right here in beautiful Fullerton, California. Thank you all for joining us today in person and also online. My name is Tomoko Rosas and I'm a practitioner here at the center. Please join me in stating our purpose statement. We are a loving spiritual community, empowering all to live healthy and successful lives through practicing the principles of science of mind. All right, so before we get started, I have a few announcements. Today is our Lunch and Paint with Karen Thomas. As you all know, the subject today is A Still Life by Paul Cézanne. And next Sunday, we're celebrating Reverend Bill's birthday with a cake and a potluck lunch. And it's a surprise. Well, I guess the surprise is wrong. And we will not ask him how old he's going to be. He's the just right age, yes. And please join us, and all welcome for that one as well. Let's see, we're working on our summer/fall newsletter, and if you'd like to submit a story to be included, there's still time. So please submit, and the details are in the program. And as you may already know, our beloved Bill Ingalls made his transition last week, and his service will be here at the center on Saturday, August 16th at 11 a.m. And the details are in the program. Wednesday Spiritual Support Group is ongoing weekly at 1 p.m. And Unexpected Income Club is doing great and it is growing. So if you'd like to participate, all welcome for that as well. And that's it for me, and I'm going to pass it on to Tommy.
Let God love me when this old world starts to push and shove me. I need to be still and let God love me.
Good morning. Thank you, Tommy.
Good morning.
Together, let's invoke the power, presence, and purpose of this teaching community, providing service to all in this region, knowing that every woman and man has access to all the power that there is, to all the presence that there is, to only life and the only God there is in lives in the secret place of the Most High, which lies within ourselves. We are grateful for the volunteers that serve this center, to include the practitioners, Board of Trustees, the ushers and greeters, hospitality team, and our dedicated congregation that funds the activities of the spiritual community. We are also grateful for the staff, our administrator, musical director, and spiritual leader, Tomoko, Tommy, and Reverend Bill. As we go into the service today, knowing that the messages will be well received by all. And so it is. I'm Amanda Secola, a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Fullerton. And my reading today is from this little book, Pathways of Being. And the excerpt I'll be reading is on page 32, Imagine the Best, written in 1944 by Christian D. Larson. There is a tendency among a great many people to fear the worst when situations look dark or threatening. It is an old race habit that originated during those early days when no one knew much of anything. And so it became second nature to fear almost everything. We fear only that which we do not understand, it has been said. Yet the road was rough for those primitive races, and enemies appeared at every mile of the way. Traveling was dangerous. Living was difficult. And what seemed to be the worst happened repeatedly to nearly everyone. We can see, therefore, how this fear developed through the centuries until it became, in the minds of the majority, a subconscious habit. And much has happened since that time to give added life and impetus to this habit. Yet there is no reason, however, why we, in this age, should retain such a habit. We need not fear the worst. We need not fear anything. We need not be victims of the detrimental effects of any form of fear. We should be free, and can be free, from every adverse habit or false belief that may have come down from any period of the past. We are learning how to meet everything with courage, faith, and understanding, how to turn away from the wrong and pursue the right, how to overcome adversity and transform what seems to be against us, how to convert enemies into friends, and how to make everything better at every step of the way. We are learning how to walk in the light, know the truth, increase our intelligence and our power, and make safe and secure the pathway before us. We are learning all these things, and therefore need not be in bondage to the fears and the errors of other days. We are finding better ways. Among these better ways, one of the most helpful is always to imagine the best, to see and vision the best no matter what the situation or the apparent outlook may be, to see the best working out and the best coming to pass, whatever the immediate indications show. We usually speak of imagination as one of the greatest faculties that we possess as humans. The imagination can do remarkable things when used constructively, and there is a way through which it can render service of extraordinary value. The way we vision or imagine determines in large measure what the nature and trend of our thinking are to be, what the direction of life, purpose, and mental action are to be, and what our faculties and powers are to work towards. It is highly important, therefore, that we always imagine the best. The whole of life will begin to move and shall move in that direction. When we are always thinking about the best and seeing the best working out, we will never fear the worst. Let us pray. There is one power, one presence, one consciousness, from which all things issue forth. We are born of the divine force as our birthright, which confers access to the amount of power that I and all others recognize and accept. It is this recognition and acceptance that allows the Spirit and power to work in and as through each one of us. We surrender to the process and accept ourselves as conduits of divine love, knowing we are not alone. Many blessings to this congregation, here and on the internet. I am eternally grateful for all the good that is ours to have, and I release my word into the divine action of the law and simply let it be, confident it is already done. And together we say, and so it is.
of the gleaming moon, God of the earthly oasis, I give myself to you. Yours is a higher power, yours is the greater plan. Finally I surrender into your loving hand. God of this heartbeat within me, God of the gift of life, God of no end or beginning, I am yours and you are mine. I am yours and you are mine.
That's Tommy Cosentino. Wow. So good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going into the archives. I want to revisit an old story, kind of an urban legend kind of thing. Not true by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a fun story nonetheless, about the Navy ship that's plowing through the rough seas late one night with cloud cover, and all at once up in the distance appears a light. And while the navigator gets on the horn and he says, attention, light, we are going to request, we've been watching, we're on a collision course, we're going to request that you adjust your course 15 degrees east. And the message comes back, yeah, suggest you adjust your course 15 degrees west. And the captain overhears this and he says, let's send him another message, tell him we insist. So the message goes out, we insist you adjust your course 15 degrees east. Message comes back, you need to adjust your course 15 degrees west. And finally the captain gets on the horn and says, this is Captain so-and-so, and this is a Navy destroyer. And we demand that you adjust your course. Message comes back, this is Seaman Second Class Bobby Jones. This is a lighthouse. Your call. Your call. It's your call. There's no hidden message here. There's no esoteric language here. There's not something we have to decipher. It's your call. It is always your call. It's always my call. It's always your call. When there's a decision to be made, and we make bunches of them every day, it's our call. Now it's true when we're young, when we're growing, when we're learning how the world works, we have to go to other people and depend on their decision making to show us the way to do it. And then as we become adults, we still want to seek that advice, we want to get information, we gather information, and that's fine. But still, the difference between childhood and adulthood is in adulthood, it is our call. I think that we could make decisions amongst lots of different things. Okay? I mean, we could make decisions about 2 or 3 things, or 10 or 12 things, but regardless of how many things are involved, I think we have 2 manners of making decisions. We can make decisions based upon spiritual law, based upon following and being in alignment with and in the flow of that supreme consciousness that knows only good for us, that life-affirming, life-sustaining power that directs and informs all the time in our world, or not. So if it's going to be our call, I think we should be thinking in terms of following what that supreme intelligence would have us follow. We do that because we want to advance a little bit, I think. Don't we want to advance? Whether we want to advance or not, it seems like that's the way things are going on this planet. Yeah, remember Darwinism? Darwinism, the survival of the fittest. I think we can look around and see that that wasn't that accurate as far as human beings go. It's not the survival of the fittest, and it really might not even be that way in the animal world. It might just be the survival of those who are best at adaptation, best at adjusting to new circumstances as they arrive. Oh, my affirmation. I am patient, tolerant, and diplomatic. My words and actions are healing. Unlike the captain of that Navy destroyer, because sometimes when we make decisions, not sometimes, all the time, we are always making decisions based upon not really having all the information. And we might have lots of the information. Sometimes we might not have any of the information, but we're human. We somehow think that we're going to make the right decision anyway, because that's what we'd like to believe. In his book, The Power of Decision, Raymond Charles Barker started it this way. The very first line of this book, I promise, the very first line. The individual's ability to act unintelligently in a universe of intelligence is amazing. Unintelligence functioning in human consciousness produces wrong decisions. And as a result of those things, we just, we end up places where we don't want to really be, maybe. Then he goes on to say, the power to make right decisions is yours. It's mine, it's yours. We have that power. I'm going to stop right there with that. Well, let me see. We might have something else I wanted to say. Remember we're talking about when we're little, we don't have any choice really in the matter. We have to allow other people's decisions to be our decisions, and rightfully so. I mean, we don't have enough experience or information or knowledge. But in that little section in this book, the answer is within. He says, the world of other people's decisions is not your world. No matter how wise and kind these people may be, no matter how much they love you and care for you, they are only maintaining your childhood pattern of indecision, the pattern of leaning on other minds rather than on your own. God made your mind for you to think your thoughts and not someone else's thoughts. It's your call. It's my call at every step along the way. There's another story I kind of like about the ancient Greek walking along the road, and he stops to chat with somebody at the side of the road. Turns out that somebody was Socrates. And he asks him, he says, can you tell me how to get to Mount Olympus? Socrates said, sure. Just make sure that every step you take is in that direction. So can you tell me how to do this? Can you tell me how to get there? Can you tell me how to make this world the way I want it to be? Yeah, Bill. Just make sure every step you take, every decision you make, every thought you have, every act you do is in that direction. And if we have foundationally put ourselves in that place where we practice our spiritual principles, and consequently we make decisions based on spirit, not just based on theory or fact or life in general because we live it. We have to navigate somehow this planet while still doing it spiritually. We have to understand that all the decisions we make can be made in a spiritual fashion or a non-spiritual fashion. In his book, The Second Coming of Christ, The Resurrection of the Christ Within You, Paramahansa Yogananda told us this. He's talking about this whole thing, by the way, this Finding the Christ with the Resurrection of the Christ Within You. This is a 2-volume set that all of it is about talking about the teachings of Jesus and how they relate to us in this day and age. And here he's talking about Jesus having an encounter with the nobleman from Capernaum whose son is sick and dying, and he says to the master teacher, "Come to Capernaum and fix this." And Jesus kind of says to him, in that wry fashion, "Gee, you expected me to show you something." He says, "You have faith. Just go back home. Son's going to be fine. I don't have to go with you and show you, but everybody wants to see the miracle take place. You don't need that." But what he says is, "Because you call me Christ, but do not feel my presence in your consciousness, you do not lead your life as I say unto you." So you come looking for me because you heard I can do stuff, and you have enough faith in me doing that stuff, but for some reason you don't have enough faith in what I tell you, enough faith in what I say. Do this yourself. You don't have enough faith that you can do this. And it's like Amanda mentioned in her invocation, that power, that supreme power, is available to all of us. And it's available to all of us equally. So if we're not using it, who's the reason for that? And could we make a different choice? Could we make a different decision? It's your call. We keep hammering on this. This is a practical philosophy. This is a practical spirituality. This is a practical way of navigating the world. This is a practical way of using affirmative prayer to make our world a better place. And if we're not practicing it, we just listen to it once in a while, it's no wonder that it doesn't always come out exactly that way that we were kind of hoping it would. Eric Butterworth, in his book, Discover the Power Within You, says this: the idea, to begin with, just to set it up, the idea behind when we say we are made in the image and likeness of God is not just a figure of speech. Okay? It wasn't just plucked out of the air because it was about the right size to fit into a bumper sticker or on an affirmation slip. He says it's not a mere figure of speech. And we say, well, when Christ walked the earth, when Jesus walked the earth, but Christ never walked the earth. Jesus walked the earth and demonstrated the Christ principle, because the Christ is a principle. And we're supposed to be practicing our principle. And it's like Jesus himself said, "These things and more ye shall do." Kind of almost like, stop coming to me with all this stuff. You can take care of this. Although when people did come to him, he was happy to take care of it and show them exactly how that could be. But the difference between him and us is that he demonstrated it on a daily basis. whatever the occasion was, the call of the people, the decision of the people was to come to him, and his decision was to heal because he was so in flow that he could do that. But always and forever, he just instructed us to do the same thing. And when Butterworth says it's not that when we say things like this that we're trying to diminish the work of Jesus, because that's not it at all. In fact, there's nothing we could do or say to diminish that. I mean, that's just foolishness. That was done. He had that calling. He could do that, and we, for 2,000 years, have been gushing over with appreciation for that. Still, if he was standing right here beside us, I'm sure he'd be saying, stop gushing over and just get with it. Get with the program. Make your choices. Live spiritually. Decide spiritually everything that you're going to do. So, and he says, low and base as a man's actions may be at times, he is still a child of God. We might need to think about that for a second. The person that we just absolutely hate because of his political or social or financial stature or position is still a child of God. He still has the potential of the Christ within him. So does that mean the person we think the least of is living in a spiritual way? No. Is he acting like the Christ principle is flowing through him? No. But still has the potential for that because it's inherent in all of us. And this is the hope without which the whole Christian religion just doesn't make much sense. Remember, he's a unity minister. He's as steeped in the Christian religion as ever a person was. But he understands that we have to take it practically, not just theoretically. This is not about theory. This is not about some abstract thought that can't be brought down into our life right here, right now, today, and every day. It's not hard to find where Jesus stood on this issue. He said, though there are those who would like us to forget it, that every single one of us can do and be all that he revealed if we stand where he stood and see as he saw and laid hold of the truth as he laid hold of it. So Jesus never denied the weakness of man. He never denied that we make mistakes, that we do things wrong. All he said was, you don't have to. Sure, do we do that? Yeah. Does everybody do it? Yeah. Does that make the whole world bad? No, it just means we're doing something we don't have to do. And there's going to come a time when we think to ourselves, God, there's got to be something better than this. And at that time, we then focus or refocus on that spirituality, on that divinity, on that spark of Christ that's within us. And when we do, we are probably going to, in this teaching, we call it spiritual mind treatment. Because when we figure out that we need to connect with that divine consciousness totally and completely, it's just like Tommy was singing, I'm yours. You know, here I am. Let's work together on this, but we discover that we don't, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but we don't have all the answers. Sometimes we need a little help from somebody else. Wait a minute, we can't pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. Sometimes we need something in addition to what we got. That's fine. And we go to spiritual mind treatment, we go to affirmative prayer, it's called, in other teachings, and everybody in this teaching and everybody in any sort of spiritually mature environment tells us the same thing. Prayer is real. Answered prayer is happening all the time. And you don't need somebody else to do it for you. Now, that said, I go to others on a regular basis for prayer. But it's not because I don't think I can do it for myself. It's because it just feels good. It just sounds good. And it doesn't matter who's making the affirmative prayer. If it's made in the right mindset, it's going to be effective. When we sit and connect with that divine intelligence, when we recognize it and unify with it, and then speak our word into it, it doesn't matter who's doing the speaking. It's going to happen. Because that spiritual law knows only to say yes. And knows only to fill that mold, if you will, that we present to it. And that mold is our thought pattern. It's this is what I want. This is what should be mine. This is what I'm demanding. And as long as it's in flow with that life-giving, life-affirming, life-sustaining principle, it's going to come about. Okay, now we're going to try my memory for sure to see just exactly where we might find that. In his book, Edinburgh Lectures, Thomas Troward, who was a huge part of the basis of this philosophy, by the way, he's talking about the action of thought power is not limited to a circumscribed individuality. Okay? You don't need a priest, a preacher, a minister, a guru. You don't need them to do this for you. You want that help? That's fine, because it's just a nice thing to have. But don't think that you cannot do it for yourself. Don't think it's not your call. He says, how do we know what the intention of the universal mind might be? Okay, we're talking about using this divine consciousness, this universal consciousness, this one mind. Well, how do we know what the intention of it is? Here comes in the element of impersonality, he says. It has no intention. Wait a minute. This consciousness, this thing we call God, has no intention? Well, that's kind of scary. Because it's impersonal. It works the same way for everybody, every time, everywhere, in any situation. It's impersonal. It doesn't treat me better than it treats you. It doesn't treat you better than it treats your neighbor. It doesn't treat anybody better or worse than anybody else. It's available full on, full throttle. It's available to anybody who can access it in the right frame of mind, in the right manner, in the right spiritual tradition. We give it its intention. We give that. Here's a power that's so great it's created everything in the manifest universe. Anything we ever saw or ever going to see, this power created it, but it has no intention other than creation. Because creation is what it does. Life is what it brings, what it gives, what it sustains, what it affirms. Yet we get to direct it. It's our call. We get to direct it for whatever fashion we want it to be. Let's get to our guy, Ernest Holmes. In this thing called you, he says this: it's neither the power, the presence, nor the law that you lack, if you do lack anything. It's a consciousness, an inner spiritual awareness. This consciousness is a thing of thought and conviction. It is a thing of faith and understanding. No one can give this to you but yourself, and if you have it, no one can take it away from you. It's ours. It's inherent within us. It's ours by birthright. It came with us. At that nanosecond, when the Big Bang produced everything that there is from that one mind, from that consciousness that we call God, that we call spirit, that we call life. It came with us. If we don't understand it, that's because we haven't been shown it. If we have shown it and still don't understand it, it's because we have somehow, some way, chosen against understanding it. But when we choose for life, when we choose for goodness, when we choose for peace and beauty and prosperity and every other God quality we could stand here and just rattle off, that's when it all comes together and it all makes sense, and it gets that direction it so dearly needs, because remember, it's creating all the time. It never stops creating. It's just going on and on and on and on. Create, 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 birth, 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 life, life, life. And we're standing here steering the way this is going. So at any time, it's going to be our call. Paramahansa Yogananda said one other thing in this. Well, he said a lot more than one other thing. But he said one other thing I'm going to use right this second. And he was talking about still the miracles that he was performing, and how people were kind of peculiar because they had to see miracles, and in between times when they were seeing these miracles, they might or might not remember that they're possible and that they go on and that he can do them and indeed they could do them. But he says this: God should not have to prove himself through miracles to earn the love and trust of his children. Each one, through his own free will and perfect accord, should make a voluntary choice of the heart to love God and to seek to know him. Just doesn't sound like that should be that difficult, does it? If we are choosing God, it's our call. If we are choosing something other than God, it's our call also. Either way, it's our decision. We're in the driver's seat. So whatever comes into our lives, it's our call. We can decide how to accept everything that comes to us. We can accept it in a spiritually aware, a spiritually mature, life-giving, sustaining manner, or we can choose to let it lead us down some rabbit hole, to let it lead us in some sort of negative direction, to end us up someplace where we didn't really want to go, but oh, by the way, here we are. I wish it hadn't have been so. Also, from Eric Butterworth, the power within you and discovering it and understanding it. I think I'm going to probably want to leave us with this. Things may happen around you, and things may happen to you, but the only things that really count are the things that happen in you. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control what we think about what happens. And what we are thinking is our life at any particular moment. Do we get that? Thoughts or things. What we are thinking is our life. It outpictures as the world around us. And that is so because we can choose what we think. When a thought comes into our mind, we can either accept it, massage it, play with it, wrap our arms around it, and take it as ours and become BFFs. Or we can simply reject it. Wait a minute. You thought, out. You're in the wrong place. You don't belong here. Oh, you thought about life. You thought about love, beauty, joy, happiness, community. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. We're going through life arm in arm from here on out. It's our call. We can choose good, we can choose God, or we can choose otherwise. So let's just know that with this choice, with this power of choice, this incredibly awesome power that we have, that we can choose how to direct our life, and by choosing to direct our life in a manner, we're also choosing to direct the entire world, indeed the entire universe, in that like direction. And we have this availability because we are made in the image and likeness of God. We are centers of creation. We are centers of that divine consciousness. Each of us, regardless of our geographical location, we're each a center of that divine mind, of that consciousness, because it has no boundaries, it has no circumference. Therefore, every spot within it is a center. That's me. That's you. That's each person. And as a center of that consciousness, and having available to me the power to direct that awesome consciousness that grounds all being, truly things are wonderful for me. It's my call, it's my choice, it's my right to direct this power in a manner that I see fit, as long as I'm directing it for good, as long as I'm directing in a life-affirming, life-sustaining, ever-advancing awareness of that spirituality that is within me, and that is mine to wield. Life is good. And it's knowing that this power is within me, knowing this power is available, knowing that it is my choice, it is my decision, it is my call. I say thank you, God. Thank you for this incredible amount of leverage, this incredible amount of decision-making power. And I just let this word go into that law, knowing it is going to say yes to my every demand, because I have the power. It's my call. I just let this word go, knowing it is so, and so it is. This is our opportunity to share of our good, knowing that the only source for our good and for all good is God, and for that we're grateful. As always, thank you very much for your continued support, and it's that support that makes us a viable spiritual center right here in beautiful downtown Fullerton. And let's just know that we accept these gifts, these tithes, these offerings, knowing that they are given from the central core of who we are, which is God made manifest on this plane. We bless the gifts, we bless the givers, and we send it forth to do His great work in the world with no strings and no conditions. So it
is. Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face. Brush off those clouds and cheer up, put on a happy face. Take off that gloomy mask of tragedy, it's not your style. You look so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook, stick out that noble chin. Wipe off that full of doubt look, slap on a happy grin, and spread sunshine all over the place. Put on a happy face. Put on a banana splits and licorice, and you'll be fine. I knew someone so gloomy, he'd never laugh or sing. He wouldn't listen to me, now he's a mean old thing. So spread sunshine all over the place. Put on a happy face. Put on a happy face. Take off that gloomy mask of tragedy. It's not your style. You look so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook, stick out that noble chin. Wipe off that full of doubt look, slap on a happy grin. And spread sunshine all over the place. Put on a happy face. Put on a happy face. Thank you.
Tommy Cosentino. That was more happy faces than I've seen, well, except for out here. And here we are. So, let's just know something together. Something incredible is happening through me right now.
Something incredible is happening through me right now.
What was that?
Something incredible is happening through me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called community.
It's this thing called community.
I choose all this,
I choose all this,
and I can,
and I can,
because it's my call.
because it's my call.
Thank you, God, in me.
Thank God in